waiting for. Hello, we are here. We are live. I missed that prompt. We're off to an auspicious start. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time out of a chaotic life that's happening right now for everyone to join us to celebrate Drexel's digital media 20th graduating class. Insert applause here. I am thrilled to be here today and a little exhausted, but excited to be able to share with you the 14 senior project teams that we have with us today, from animation and visual effects, game design and production, interactive digital media, and some samplings of our VR and immersive media major. As well as following this live stream of the showcase of the senior projects, we have a guided tour on the same live stream starting at 2 of the expo that'll feature not only some hands-on and face-to-face time with the senior projects, but also another dozen or so projects from underclassmen, other seniors, juniors, even some sophomore projects, as well as of our student groups. So once again, welcome and thank you for being here for Drexel Digital Media's 20th graduating class showcase and expo 2020. They are 20th graduating class in 2020, so our hashtag is 20dig'em20, so please use and abuse that hashtag all day long. All right, my name is Rob Lloyd, and I'm going to be talking to you for the next 4 hours. And I'm going to be talking to you about a lot of different things, but mostly I'm going to try to get out of the way and let our seniors talk about their incredible projects. But let me give you a little bit of context first for what it is that you're about to see. First, well, you got my name. I'll say it again. I like my name. My name is Rob Lloyd. I'm Program Director for Game Design and Production at Drexel University, and I'm also the Senior Project Coordinator for all of digital media, along with Nick Jashishin, who is behind the scenes today doing an incredible job keeping all the cameras and audio and students and videos in the right place. And, I'm the one talking at the wrong time and place, not realizing I'm live. Am I live now? Is this thing on? I think it is. So, Digital Media Senior Project. It's their capstone project. These students have been here for the last 4+ years working on gaining new skills, new abilities, and working towards larger and larger projects. This capstone project has gone on for the last year, and some of these projects have actually been going on for 2 years. Boldly, one of our IDM projects started off as an incredible junior project, won awards, and then came on into senior project to go even further. We have some projects in the expo that are also extended projects. But the capstone project is what we're here to focus on from noon to 2 p.m. today. With these 14 teams from the various programs in digital media, they started as juniors last year, spring, summer, coalescing into teams, trying to convince our faculty to join in their adventure to build their projects, and work with one of those specific faculty to become a dedicated advisor for that project. I'm sort of the shepherd that try to keeps everybody going in the same direction, but the individual advisors are really doing the heavy lifting and working closely with each team and working on their projects to get them to that next level. So this goes on in spring and summer, and sometimes even earlier. I think some of our teams began interviewing potential team members even before spring last year. But once the term begins in fall, then that's all about pre-production. It's about taking that idea, exercising it, putting it in front of faculty and their peers, and really seeing if this is the project that has legs. Does this idea have what it takes to really take it to the next level? And so they work on this whole pre-production phase for the whole fall term. We at Drexel here use quarter systems, so we have 4 quarters to the year. And so in the fall quarter, those 10 to 11 weeks are about that pre-production process, checking your pipeline. What tools are you going to use? How are you going to communicate as a team? and setting up all these norms, getting ready to work professionally together for the next 30 plus weeks. Winter term, those 10 to 11 weeks are where the rubber meets the road, where they really begin working earnestly on production and bringing these projects into reality, from the concepts and plans that they had in fall to the actual hardcore production in winter. By the end of winter, the project exists. It's done. It's not polished yet. It's not perfect, but it's done. They could share it with the world at that point, and many of them have. But spring, the term we're bringing to a close here and now, these 9 abbreviated weeks have been about polishing and preparing to share the project with the world. And the results of that is what you're going to see here today. And it's about taking these projects not just to the it's done, but to that high shine level, so that the students are really exceptionally proud of everything that you're going to see on screen today. And we are as well. So we're going to get to our first team in just a moment. I want to take a brief moment to thank everyone who has helped make this event possible, from the students themselves who have withstood an exceptionally difficult time. Not only is school hard, not only is senior project hard, but the world is a little extra hard right now, and these teams have weathered that storm beautifully. And I'm really extremely proud. And I won't go further because I'll start crying on stream, and I don't want to cry on stream, but trust me, I'm extremely proud of these students, of what they've accomplished and what they've endured to get to this point, each and every single one of them. There are people who have helped from all the faculty in the department, from leadership all the way down, from university leadership to the Dean of Westfall, Dean Alan Sabinson. This is his last year. He's stepping down in August. His leadership has been vital for me and the department and the programs to do what we need to do. Our department head, Michael Wagner, and his steady, calm leadership at the head of our group has been really important to me in putting all this together. We have so many faculty and so many staff that I can't thank them all at this stage, and I apologize for that, but our digital media faculty are top-notch and incredibly giving and brilliant people, and I am honored to be able to work with them for the last 6 years and hope to continue working with them for many years to come. Daphne Wright, I will call out as our department administrator. She has saved my behind many a time. So many details have to happen behind the scenes to make all this work. But we also have Jared and Taylor, our 2 entertainment and arts management students, who this show is their senior project, helping to make this happen. They went from, hey, we're planning a real physical show in a physical theater with physical stuff and catering and linens and sound systems, to, we have to do what on Zoom? And they've done an incredible job. Abigail Stein, one of our digital media graduate students, who's also stepped up. We have a lot of people, some work study students who people were editing videos last night and making graphics for my Zoom stream later on. And it takes an army, and I am proud to be a part of it. So I think it's time for me to move on. No, I don't think No, I'm not sharing any screens. So let's get to the show. Enough about me, enough about the program. Let's get to the students and the incredible work that they've done. The first of our projects today is going to be one of our incredible animation and visual effects teams, Dog in a Jacket Productions. And they're bringing to us a really charming film called Sign Language.
Hello, everyone. We're Dog in a Jacket Productions, and we hope you like sign language. Before we go into the presentation, I'd like to introduce you all to the hardworking people who helped make this film. So I'm Jason Aziz. I'm the project and compositing lead. We have Max Lewing, the modeling and texturing lead, Derek Pinchot, the cinematographer, Josh Jager, the animation lead, and Anthony Cernka, the tracking lead.
Okay. So sorry about the story. So when we were first coming up with our story, we knew that we wanted to make something with like simple motivations. We were really initially drawn to the charm that comes with a simple love story. Two characters that just kind of want to be together. Early on in the story making process, we were inspired by other short films, specifically the two Pixar shorts, Knick Knack and The Blue Umbrella. Both shorts have those sort of effortless love stories that we were looking to make, and The Blue Umbrella in particular inspired a lot of our story points and aesthetic. It's hard to tell a full, character arc, three-act structure in less than 5 minutes. So when initially coming up with the plot, we created sort of a story map that follows a very stripped down three-act structure. The story went through a lot of permutations before reaching the final state you saw. But through the changes, we stuck with these three main points. First, establish the who, the what, the where, the two main characters, their motivations, and then trigger an event that sort of starts the story. And then two, we wanted to create a point of no return where our crosswalk guy, he can't go back to where he used to be. He has to press forward and get to the crosswalk lady. And then, of course, finally the resolution to the story. Yeah.
So going into this project, we knew we wanted to do something different than most other projects, and while we all liked animation, members of the team, such as myself, had interests in compositing as well. We liked the idea of compositing animated CGI elements onto live action footage. This mix of CGI integrated with reality was something that was familiar but new to us at the same time. It created challenges we hadn't seen coming, but it also made our lives easier in a lot of ways, such as we didn't really have to model an entire environment from scratch. Throughout the film, we have combined 2D and 3D animation techniques, such as when Crosswalk Guy enters and leaves signs and bags.
So I'm going to talk about some of our process. After creating our concept and story, it was time to shoot. We scouted out locations and decided on a street not too far from campus. We had an initial shooting day where we shot all of our shots from start to finish. But since our location was on a busy city street and we were constantly updating our story, there were many reshoots in the following weeks. Once we had our footage, we then had to implement the visual effects. Using 3D and compositing software, we then incorporated our animated characters and objects into our footage so that they are realistically portrayed in our environment.
And last but not least, we'd like to talk about the music of our film. We were fortunate enough to work with a friend of ours, Cooper Hyde, who is an excellent songwriter and recent graduate of Berklee College of Music up in Boston, Massachusetts. He composed the score mainly out of acoustic instruments. And in a perfect world, Cooper would have been able to get his score played and recorded by other peers and professionals at a studio in Berklee. But with the current pandemic going around, he still managed to pull off a great score through his personal setup at home, which you can see here. And finally, with the score, we hope to convey transitions in the emotions of the film, including some Mickey Mousing here and there, which is essentially when the music syncs up with certain visuals and actions of our short.
All in all, we had a blast making this short film, and we really hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you.
And thank you, Dog and Jacket Productions. Sign Language is a beautiful film. Every time I see it now, it gets better and better as it progressed. And thank you for sharing it with us today. So, next up, we go into the game category using virtual reality, imagining yourself doing something slightly wrong, but hilariously wrong. We have Taste Like Chicken Games with their VR cooking game, we'll say. Cooking with Cannibals. Wait a second. We're waiting for things to go. We're ready to go. Or maybe not. Cooking with Cannibals. It's what everybody wants.
Present our virtual reality game, Cooking with Cannibals. Back in May of 2019, the three of us started a team with the goal of creating the next hit virtual reality title. Out of the 75 game design pitches that we put together, a VR cooking game with cannibalism seemed to be the one that stood out the most. With that single pitch, our team quickly grew from 3 students to 10 amazing artists, virtual reality enthusiasts, and programmers that make up Taste Like Chicken Games, the minds behind Cooking with Cannibals.
So what is Cooking with Cannibals? It's a virtual reality game where the player is fully immersed in the environment and gameplay. You strap on your headset and enter the world of Cooking with Cannibals, where you are now a culinary student, fresh out of cooking school, looking for your first job. To make ends meet, you take up a job in a cannibal food truck. You must now cook to survive in an eat or be eaten environment as you climb up the culinary ladder.
We took some inspiration from some well-known comedy games in order to flesh out Cooking with Cannibals. Games like Untitled Goose Game and Overcooked influenced our fun, lighthearted tone and humor, while Job Simulator helped shape the base premise.
From those inspirations, we created a dark tone humor mixed with the cartoon aesthetic in our game. We made our food based on cheesy puns and made their designs lighthearted, which is the approach we also did with our non-player characters. They have this dark humor tone in their designs that contrasts with cartoony proportions and exaggerated expressions to make their designs lighthearted as well.
Once we were done designing our assets of food and characters, we began modeling and adding fresh textures. As we modeled the assets, we had to go through multiple iterations. Through those changes, we came across some problems such as missing body parts, strange rigged skeletons, and some wonky motion captured animations. But we kept at it just to make sure the characters came out of the modeling oven warm and perfect.
And what would an up-and-coming chef be without a kitchen to cook in? We knew we wanted unique spaces that progressively got fancier each level. As a player moves from each environment, we designed them in such a way that we are able to add new cooking techniques. We took those designs and dove right into VR using an app called Tiltbrush, where we brought our 2D drawings to life. From there, we were able to transition right to 3D and build out our environments we have today.
To do that, by using low poly geometry and simple textures, we were able to bring our designs to life in a way that allowed us to iterate quickly and effectively. Once we got a clean layout for our first level, the Adderlock food truck, we decided to dirty it up a little. We were able to add depth and detail to our cartoony aesthetic through a mix of procedural and hand-painted textures. In the same fashion, for the Drop Dead Diner, our second level, we gave the kitchen a little less dirt and a little more heart. We made sure that each kitchen had a unique layout and distinct character, which is why for our final level, Gamzee's Gourmet, we went all out fancy, and nothing says fancy like gold. We wanted an obvious difference in cleanliness and kitchen quality in each of the levels as a testament to the player's ascent of the cannibal culinary ladder.
Particles are the butter on the bread of our game. While also adding to the cartoony style, particles actively help with user interaction. They act as the primary indicator of certain functions in the game, including tips, key mechanics, and more. While particles are the butter, shaders are the bread. Our game's Toon Shader works off of a custom pipeline created specifically for this game that creates an internal sun for each one of our materials, eliminating the need for any physical lights in our scenes.
So after the art team creates the environments, objects, and characters, the development team comes in and adds in the behaviors and logic needed to make them fit into the game. The environment becomes your playground and the objects become your toys. Creating the gameplay logic involves sequencing out the events, starting from when the customers first make their orders, to you chopping and cooking the meals, and finally serving them a finished cannibal meal. Each of the characters in our game also have unique behaviors. Depending on whether you've grilled a perfectly medium rare shoulder or boiled a brain to mush, the characters in the game will react accordingly. They'll be happy and angry and everything in between, and you have to deal with them as you cook to survive.
Creating an exclusive to the player is important for a VR game. For us, we wanted to be able to make the player forget that they're not actually in a kitchen, to the point they might try to put the controller on a table that's not even there. Keeping the interactables intuitive and fun allowed the player to make the most of the game and have a great time. After countless playtests and feedback from fans, we've been able to add and improve many interactables that make our game so awesome. Each playtest helped us find new ways for the game to grow and improve and become what it was today.
During our playtests, we noticed that players would play around with the objects in the levels. They would do things like toss ingredients at the customers or stack things on top of each other. We decided to make these small interactions into minigames, one for each level. After some brainstorming, we came up with 3 different minigames: a bowling minigame, a ball throwing minigame, and a basketball minigame. Our goal was to let the player play with the physics of VR without being constrained in the kitchen. We also wanted these minigames to serve as a break from the usual cannibalistic cooking.
Our game takes place in kitchen-like atmospheres, so we needed order tickets for the player to follow. Each order ticket went through multiple iterations, to say the least, so that the design fit within each level's theme and feel. Each level takes place in a different restaurant, so each one needs an unique logo. The inspiration behind each logo came from different real-world examples, like food trucks and diners around the Philly area. The game also has their own set of UI. Posters were made to communicate the humorous gameplay for each of the minigames. User interface design was not just important for building Cooking with Cannibals. We built a website to fit within our overall goal in terms of design language. I invite you to check us out via www.tastelikechicken.website, where we will be hosting past versions of the game. And don't forget to join us every Friday night at 7 p.m. for our live Twitch events. Most importantly, stay tuned for the new release of Cooking with Cannibals coming to the Oculus store soon.
And from all of us at Taste Like Chicken Games, we would like to thank you all for tuning in, and especially to the family, friends, and fans that made this game possible. We'll see you all at the expo.
Thank you, Taste Like Chicken. Incredible job. Well done. Great project. If you've got the headset, you should be playing this game. From questionable cooking ethics, let's talk about ethics in social media and having a better platform, a nicer place to be together. That brings us to Interactive Digital Media senior team, Pluto Social, and their platform, Pluto.
Okay, thank you, Rob, for that great introduction. So let's just dive right into some introductions of our own. I'm Sarah Bray, and I'm our project manager.
Rob Nashid, user interface designer.
Veronica Lin, UX designer and researcher.
Mike Carbone, backend developer.
Song design technologist.
And I'm Clay Terzic, our front-end developer.
Through competitive analysis research, we found key identifiers surrounding what a social media site provides its user base, as well as the identified value of these specific sites based on public opinion. We synthesized all of these platforms into these key points. Generally speaking, these social media networks encourage users to create larger networks. There is a higher barrier for posting quality content. Content is mainly driven by trends and hashtags, and it's a space for businesses, ads, fake accounts, and bots. This created a gap for what we identify as meaningful personal connections, which are instead more intimate connections, one-on-one interactions with your network, a space that is both private and secure, and there's a lower barrier for creating and sharing new content. So, what are meaningful connections to us? As user experience designers, we always prioritize creating digital experiences that provide the most meaning for the user. This could be a matter of utility, usefulness, or enjoyment, whatever the measurement may be. But what about meaningful connections in an online space? We all personally felt that the current social media platforms don't prioritize meaningful connections, and this question would be the force that propelled our research in the following weeks.
Our next step in the research process was to define who our platform is targeting and understand what they need and want. Our target market is for a wide range of people who like to share their personal content to those that are close to them. However, for this research, we targeted potential users aged from 18 to 25 on the presumption that young users are crucial to our platform success. We used a variety of different research methods, including screener survey, user interviews, I like, I want, what if, exercise, and desirability testing. The purpose of I like, I want, and what if exercise was to discuss with our users what they value and want from social media platforms. And here are our main takeaways from the exercise. Most participants' favorite aspects of social media derives from the content they see and how they see it. Many participants are drawn to platforms by being a part of communities. Participants value their free speech, but they want their content to be more heavily moderated. And lastly, participants wish many certain platforms made it easier for them to connect with others.
Interviews really helped us to understand our users more. After transcribing and analyzing our user interviews, we found that the most meaningful online connections are formed around repeated engagement through anything that most closely resembles face-to-face interaction. From our research, we developed a thesis that states, we believe that creating a social network that prioritizes meaningful connections by giving users a platform with an increased sense of privacy and security will allow them to maintain stronger online relationships than existing platforms.
Turning research into a product was a huge milestone for us. We prioritized all the features we could think of that would help build a meaningful experience, conducted early usability testing on those features, and got building. Here you can see all the feature ideas found through research, prioritized by measuring effort and impact. Hitting the high impact features were our first priority and eventually would become the main features of Pluto. And without further ado, this is Pluto.
So let me highlight some of the key features that you just saw. Groups are a core aspect of the app, but it's not like a normal group chat where all members see the same people. It's essentially a filtering system that allows you to organize your connections. Each group has its own feed. So for example, you can separate your friend connections from your family connections, allowing you to easily interact with them separately when you want to. With Pluto, privacy isn't tucked away into the settings like most social media platforms. Instead, we've integrated it into every single aspect of the user experience. One way that we've done this is by allowing users to choose who can see each post that they make, whether they're sharing to a whole group or just a couple of friends. This ensures that everyone feels a sense of security with the content they share.
While the human brain is reading something, the curvature, style of typeface, and color all play into the way in which a user interprets the content's tone and mood. When dealing with social media interface, it's important to try and maintain a clean blank slate instead of trying to create a perception within the interface, allowing for the user-driven content to speak for itself. Our design incorporates all of these ideas into one by creating an interface that is both stylish and interplanetary, as well as a blank slate for best feature users' content.
Written in Node.js with the Mongo database, Pluto is working off of 39 separate endpoints, each controlling a different action in a very specific way. We developed a few unique concepts to help us in making sure we could push features quickly while also making sure the code is high quality. With a privacy focus, the server also ensures each piece of data sent with every request is secure and private. One example of our privacy-first design is our commenting system. If you're not friends with someone, we don't want their name visible at all on the platform. So what happens when a stranger comments on your friend's post? The backend now must prepare each comment section, ensuring that if a comment was posted by someone you're not friends with, that poster's name is changed to a pseudonym. We want that pseudonym to be the same if they comment multiple times, but also want it to change on different posts. So we introduce dynamic name changing each time comments are loaded and sent from the server to ensure each user's privacy.
Our front end is built in React Native, which allows us to share code between iOS and Android instead of writing, updating, and maintaining two totally separate code bases. It also gives us the performance and hardware access of a native app, like the camera and push notifications, but with the convenience of writing in a language we're all familiar with. Our original intent when embarking on this project was to not only design and develop a professional quality mobile app packed with fun interactions and deploy it publicly, but also to assess whether creating a virtual environment where users have more control over their privacy would make it easier to strengthen and maintain virtual relationships. Pluto has since accumulated over 50 active users during our beta testing, many of which have remarked that they feel more comfortable sharing personal content in Pluto than any currently existing platform. We feel this proves the potential for more intimate relationships online, which are only becoming more relevant and desired in our current state of physical isolation.
We would like to give a special thank you to our advisor, Troy Finnemore, who guided us throughout this whole project, the numerous digital media faculty that helped us along the way, Rob, who put this whole show together, and last but not least, our friends and family that supported us and helped us with testing.
You can find links to download our app on the Apple and Google Play Store at our website, plutosocial.io. Thanks for listening.
And thank you, Pluto. Thanks for an incredible project. And yes, I think the world is ready for a platform like Pluto. So best of luck. From behaving better online to just trying to knock people out of your world comes KO Studio with a multiplayer brawler title called Knockoff.
Hello, everyone. We are KO Games, and after 9 months of hard but rewarding work, we are very proud to present our game today, Knockoff, an elemental free-for-all fighting game. My name is Mark Striegershausen, and along with 6 other very talented artists, we are extremely excited to give you a sneak peek into the game and the story with our exciting trailer. So our game was being developed in Epic Games' Unreal 4 engine with the intent to release for the PC. It's a 2 to 4 player brawling game where players play as masters of the elements, trying to knock opponents off of the map to achieve victory. The player has 3 elements at their disposal. The first is fire, which pushes opponents that are hit by it. The next is water, which will pull opponents hit by it. And the third is earth, which creates a shattering ability, which destroys part of the map, hazardous to all players. Our spells are stored on our unique triad mechanism. The space around each player is divided into 3 120-degree arcs. A player can only look in one arc at a time, leaving the other 2 directions completely open to flanks. You can see that once a player has several spells gathered, they can switch which spell or element they have at their disposal simply by looking in another direction. So this mechanic naturally presented us a lot of challenges in all our individual fields as artists, from UI to character animation to the environment art. Starting with the UI, it was interesting. It was definitely an interesting challenge, seeing as this wasn't really something we had seen in games before, and we had to come up with an interesting solution for how players would know that spells are stored. So as you may have guessed, we use arcs almost everywhere to represent what a player is capable of and what spell they currently have in a direction. Additionally, we also tried to replicate and reinforce these arcs everywhere in the UI elsewhere, from the navigation to the character selection.
Hi, my name is Lang Eo, and I am the art lead and concept artist for the team. My job was to manage most of the scheduling of the artists on the team, as well as to create art to create the look for the game. To help us get kickstarted into determining an IP for the game, we brainstormed various wild ideas to create an initial intriguing story to make our game unique. It also helped determine the various types of art assets that we would need to create for the game. One big problem that we encountered was the conflict between creating cohesive art assets versus creating them with artistic individuality. They often conflicted with each other, and in a difference in how we imagine things to look like, we solved this by creating initial sketches that we could all agree on to determine the look of the art assets.
Hi, I'm Dimitri Kallenberg. I worked on the character animations and modeled one of the characters. Given that the player can be moving in any direction while facing in any rotation at any time in the game, animating movement was not as simple as making a run cycle. Instead, 8 separate run cycles had to be made based on direction, and these animations needed to blend seamlessly. Mark was able to accomplish this with animation blending systems in Unreal Engine, and it turned out pretty good. As an animator, it's my job to make actions from an artistic standpoint feel fluid and satisfying. From an animation perspective, this involves exaggerated movement and smear frames. So single frames in an animation that feature a broken arm, while unnatural look at their own, would actually make the whole animation feel more satisfying.
Hey everyone, I'm Jackson Reigel, and I helped to create the environments and the characters for Knockoff. An interesting challenge that we faced was we wanted to create a cohesive art style for the game, but that was fun and engaging, but that also reflected the core game mechanic. So a solution to that was we helped to create 4 colorful maps along with 4 very colorful characters that mirrored the gameplay and brought it all together. So it came out great.
Hi, my name is Gregory Jaloka, and I'm the environment artist, level designer, and lighting artist. Some other challenges with environment art was learning the Unreal Engine 4 system and learning the art asset pipeline to create assets that were both optimized for the game engine while maintaining realism and sticking to the game's art style to design an interesting and fun world to play in. As game designers, we know that good lighting is essential to a great looking game, but we also understand that lighting can have a major impact on performance if we're not careful. So balancing that was a challenge, and by utilizing Unreal's lighting, we were able to achieve great lighting with minimal performance impact.
Hey, I'm Dave Rosilli, and I was tasked with creating prop and environment art. One large hurdle I had to overcome was a way to make various environmental patterns for the tiles that allowed them to fit seamlessly together. By using procedural generation, I was able to produce unique designs that fit together on edge. Another challenge was the design of the background props, as they had to have a distinct appearance with a reduced amount of polygons. And with Lang's design plans, I was able to construct low poly props that enhance the overall aesthetic of the levels.
Hi, I'm Hunter Wu, and I'm the particle effects artist and the sound effects designer for Knockoff. When we first started this project, the game was created in Unity, so when we moved to Unreal, I had to learn a whole new particle system with a lot of new levers and switches. So that was really fun to learn, but also difficult. It resulted in really cool looking particles that I think look a lot better than the ones you can create in Unity, and overall, it was an awesome experience working on this project.
So it could have been possible with just the 7 of us. We had tons of help from the 6 members of our CCI team, led by Chris Geertz, as well as tons of input from the music industry majors on our team, Christian Saderlund and Chase Donnelly. Some final thoughts to wrap up. All in all, this was a really difficult but rewarding project. We're all very satisfied with what we have today. Learning Unreal was certainly a difficult task for us all to embark on, but ultimately we're very proud of the skills that we have to take away. We cannot begin to express all of our gratitude towards friends, family, and faculty who made this project all come together. To learn more about the project, please visit playknockoff.com, and we hope to see you all at the expo later today. On behalf of myself and the rest of us at KO Games, thank you all for watching and have a great weekend.
Thank you, KO Games, for a great presentation and a great game. And congratulations on making the transition from Unity to Unreal. That's going to serve you well. Well, from knocking heads in the battle arena, we're going to Marblehead Studio with an animation retelling the Greek myth of Hades and Persephone with Lovebound.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Marblehead Studios, and thank you, Rob, for the introduction. We are proud to present to you our senior project, a modern retelling of the classic myth entitled Lovebound. Let's take a look.
Long ago, back in the days of gods and titans, the earth was always warm and bright. Until one day, everything changed. Young Persephone loved to watch the flowers bloom. Day after day, she dreamt of faraway places and romantic adventures. But her mother Demeter was always quick to remind her of her duties. Fields needed tilling, food needed to be picked. Persephone did as her mother wished, yet she yearned for something more. But fate had other plans. Out from the dark depths of the earth emerged Hades, god of the underworld. It seemed Persephone wasn't the only one who admired Earth's beautiful flowers. Soon, a young romance started to blossom. But it was only a matter of time before Demeter took notice. She couldn't have her daughter neglect her responsibilities once again. Persephone had to make a choice between her mother and herself. A world of love, wonder, and mystery stood before her. And for the first time in her life, she went against her mother's wishes. Unbeknownst to her, her disappearance took a toll on Demeter. For when Persephone left, Earth's greenery went with her. Zeus watched from on high as his cherished Earth was thrown into disarray. He knew he had to do something to restore balance to the world. He learned of Demeter's distress and knew there was only one way to bring Earth's greenery back. Persephone needed to return home. Little did he know, the young woman finally had everything she ever wanted. A beautiful home. Someone she loved to share it with. Her dream had come true, but it wouldn't last for long. Persephone felt it was her fate to be with Hades. She wished to be independent of her mother's controlling demands. With him, she could finally lead a life of love and luxury. But Demeter was lost without her daughter, and the flowers Persephone loved so much were dying. When Persephone heard how her mother's broken heart had affected all creation, she knew she had to make things right. Thus, Zeus declared a compromise. From that moment forward, Persephone would complete her chores on Earth with her mother, and when the season was right, Hades would return to her. Persephone knew what she had to do. For the two lovers, it wouldn't be easy. Demeter was overjoyed to have her daughter back. The earth flourished, flowers blossomed, but Persephone couldn't find joy in it anymore. She waited and waited, and after the end of a long harvest, the two lovers were reunited.
We hope you guys enjoyed that. My name is Eli, and I worked on a lot of the texturing, rendering, visual effects, and post-production.
Hi,
Can introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Casey. I worked on character rigging, animation, and some scene rendering.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I was the project lead. I also did character modeling, rigging, animating, worked on some cloth sims, and did a lot of rendering.
Hi, I'm Christina. I was the concept and storyboard artist for our team. I also animated, did the clothes simming, helped team prep, and did the video edit.
Howdy, I'm Dylan. I did a lot of the environment modeling, character rigging, modeling, a little bit of texturing, lighting, scene prep, and some visual effects and post. And so this project was a big undertaking, and we wanted to take a moment to give some special thanks to some of the people who helped us out. The voiceover, a big part of that. We want to say thank you to Alyssa Harden, who is a screenwriter who helped write the script. Mary Allen, who did the sound and the mixing for the voice and stuff like that. Gary Bowman for providing the voice itself. And a special thanks to our advisors, Dave and Nick, who were there the whole time and gave us all the advice we needed. So thank you very much.
When it came to inspiration for our project, we found that we all loved mythology and folktales. So we wanted to pick something that people might recognize, which we ended up with Hades and Persephone. And we wanted to find a way to make it our own. So goals for our project, we wanted to put a modern twist on an old story. If you're unaware, in the original myth, Hades actually kidnaps Persephone and she unknowingly traps herself in the underworld. We wanted to change it around a little bit so that we can empower Persephone. And we did that by putting more emphasis on our choice and the effects it had on our story.
Since there are so many characters involved in the original myth, we decided to narrow it down to 4. First, we have our lovebirds and main characters, Persephone and Hades, who are the goddess of spring and god of the underworld. And then we have our supporting characters, Demeter, who is the goddess of harvest and Persephone's mother, and Zeus, who is king of the gods, god of the skies, and plays the role of mediator in our short.
So some of the challenges that we encountered along the way were learning different simulations that you saw throughout our show. That includes clothing simulations, grass, leaves, and smoke. We also had to learn how to overcome a pretty dense plot. If you know the original Hades and Persephone, you know that there's multiple characters, as mentioned earlier, and that there's many events that we had to learn how to condense down into just 3 minutes. And like everyone else, we had to learn how to work around the coronavirus and work 100% remotely, but we are very thankful for everything Drexel has done for us in providing us the means to complete our project. So from all of us to you, thank you, and we hope you enjoyed our show. We hope to see you later at the expo.
Thank you very much, Marblehead Studio, for a beautiful story and a great retelling. Giving choice to Persephone is beautiful. From there, we go to the game world. Placeholder is going to bring us a game about puzzles, about shifting of perspectives, and a little child named Oliver. With that, Placeholder brings you Ikigai.
Hi, we're Placeholder.
And our game is Ikigai, a puzzle art game. Ikigai means reason for being in Japanese. Have you ever encountered a problem and had to look at it from another perspective? In this game, an aspiring young artist named Oliver gets trapped in the world of a Japanese ukiyo-e art piece. By changing the orientation of your camera, you can solve puzzles, navigate obstacles, and discover more about the unusual world around you.
Play the video here, please. Thank you.
All right, hi, I'm Julie Arcala. I was the co-producer and I did 2D art for the game.
Hi, I'm Maggie Maltese. I was a co-producer and I did art for the game.
Hi, I'm Mia Capoli. I was a 3D artist and the narrative lead.
Hi, I'm Hannah Giovanni. I am the UI artist and web designer.
Hi, I'm Angela Filtz. I was a 3D artist and sound designer.
Hi, I'm Zoe Wolf, and I'm a technical artist and gameplay programmer.
Hi, I'm Nazifa Nawar. I'm a general artist and narrative helper.
This is the rest of our team, including our awesome CCI side, our blog manager, and the musicians who's helped us make the game.
This game was inspired by the level designs, mechanics, and stories of the games Eve, Yume Nikki, and the Paper Mario franchise. They are all puzzle games which utilize distinct art styles. Paper Mario specifically utilizes perspective switching, which we implemented into our game.
We wanted to create a personal, art-centric experience that had unique mechanics and provided a challenge for us to grow and learn from. In the early stages of development, we experimented with interesting styles and settled on ukiyo-e.
We wanted the game and our art in it to focus on elements found in ukiyo-e, such as delicate lines, simple compositions, watercolor, and ink. You can see some of those elements in the tapestries we made here compared to a traditional ukiyo-e art print. There are a lot of animal motifs in our game, and we also strive to have the washed colors, flowing lines, and sense of movement be conveyed in these pieces.
Creating a story in a puzzle game is a challenge, especially making sure that the player's focus is engaged. Our goal was to create a story that would be relatable and inspire hope and creativity. We wanted to make an engaging and inspiring story and inspire hope and creativity, while also being sure our player didn't lose interest. That requires a lot of inspiration in a few words, and we hope that comes across in the game's cutscenes.
From the start, we planned for a child protagonist who had experienced growth through a coming-of-age story. Oliver went through a few redesigns, but his story was always that he used to love art, but he quit making art because he's bullied for it. His bandages on his body reflect that. Oliver becomes trapped in the ukiyo-e world and experiences art in a new way, while he'll rediscover his ikigai, or reason for being.
The idea always was to make a game with a combination of 2D and 3D perspectives. This came in the format of the player having 4 main views: traditional third-person perspective, side view, back view, and top-down. The third-person viewpoint functions like a traditional third-person perspective camera, where you can use the mouse to look around your environment. The side, back, and top views are completely orthographic in 2D. In these perspectives, the player cannot manually control the camera, and movement is constrained to the 2 visible axes. The use of these distinct differing perspectives constantly encourage players to look at their environment in a new way and explore for clues to our varying puzzles.
We wanted to make sure puzzle solving was challenging but fun, not frustrating. So for the lantern puzzle, the player must explore the environment around them to find the symbols on the lanterns and figure out the combination. Other puzzles involve moving objects and racing against the clock to find the solution.
We spent a long time playtesting people's reactions to different kinds of puzzles and how they went about solving them. The puzzle pictured here involves rotating blocks to match patterns in two perspectives. We wanted the process of solving them to be relaxed and promote exploration and a greater appreciation for art.
The koi fish puzzle requires the player to send the fish swimming in the correct order to solve the puzzle. The player must move each fish and feed them. There's a twist that may require the help of a furry friend. Once the fish form the right paths in the right order, they open the way to the final puzzle.
With our decision to create ukiyo-inspired worlds, we went through concepts to see how we could approach the shaders and post-processing with the line work and colors seen in the art style.
Originally, we intended to have 3 different art worlds in the game. As we started working and researching ukiyo-e, we realized how much we liked it and decided to make it the style of the entire game. We wanted it to be bright, beautiful, and inspirational with a focus on light, color, and nature.
This is a view of the backyard garden. Most of the world in our game is in 3D, so we had to create and implement a lot of assets to populate the world. Puzzles like the lantern puzzle and the set pieces like the water lilies all had to fit the theme of ukiyo-e's art style in the world. To keep it in theme, we went with a simple modeling style so that the shader could elevate the models.
For the buildings, we created several pieces that could be placed together in a variety of ways to make the modeling process less time-consuming. We looked at traditional Japanese homes for reference, which helped a lot not only with the pieces we need to make, but the floor plan and colors as well. This also supported the clean lines and minimalist aesthetic of this art movement.
The goal with the UI design for the game is not only to provide visual cues to which perspective the player is in, but also to find a style that complements the art. The icons shown here were created to quickly show how each perspective worked and which was active. We went with an inky texture and shape across the board. In terms of the logo, the 4 intertwining circles represents the Japanese concept of ikigai, or a reason for being.
Traditional ukiyo-e art tends to feature inky outlines, so pretty early on, we created an outline post-processing effect. This shader was written in HLSL, which is Unity's shader language. It works with the difference in normals in the geometry and distance from the camera to decide which edges to outline. We then added more post-processing in the form of bloom, warm color correction, and fog to give it personality and character. These visual effects help the final environment to feel more inviting, imploring the player to explore its rich beauty.
For the music, we brought on members that we knew could create great music and had good work ethic. Our ideas for the music were to keep the Japanese influence by using instruments like the koto and biwa, but allow our musicians to put their own flair on themes and melodies. Our overall goal was to have calming music to help the player focus and not feel intimidated by the puzzles.
We hope you enjoy our game and can appreciate the time that went into making it. We want players to come away feeling accomplished and inspired for solving the problems and exploring the art around them. Special thanks to our advisor, Emil, Rob for getting this all together, and our friends and families for supporting us through this. And if you want to find out more, we have 2 websites, one about the game made by us, and a development blog with interviews and behind-the-scenes info about our process. And come check out our expo afterwards. Thank you.
And thank you, placeholder. You definitely filled in the blanks and did it beautifully. I'm really a big fan of how you executed the final look at that game. It's just beautiful. From that puzzle-based world, we go into an interactive digital media project by Ethereal Immersive. All the teams faced a great deal of challenges, but the teams that had a virtual product in the end had a leg up on a team like Ethereal, who had an incredible physical experience planned, and the world changed, and they had to change with it. And here's their story, and here's what they produce. You need to hear their story. It's a good one. Here's Ethereal Immersive with Triple.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. We're Ethereal, and we're really excited to tell you about our project Triple. First, for some introductions. My name is Alex, and I was the art director on this project.
My name is Jordan. I was an interactive designer on this project.
Hi everyone, my name is Meet and I was the UX researcher on this project.
I'm Sanika and I was the graphic designer.
I'm Yuan, I'm the project manager. So beside five of us, we also have a strong CCI team behind, helping on hardware and software development, and also 2 music industry students helping designing the sound system as well as making the original soundtrack display put into the exhibition. We're also lucky enough to get 1 game production student helping us on the storyboard and screenwriting. So what is Triple? Triple is a fully immersive interactive art exhibition designed to be displayed in the physical space. By using the heart rate sensors, the participants will effect the art and music in the room and have the opportunity to create and play in collaborations with strangers within the space. Please see our 3-minute video showing the progress we have been made.
We're gonna make a fully immersive interactive exhibition.
You'll walk into a room and the art will be all around you, projected onto all 4 walls, and you'll be able to interact with it. So your actions will affect the art in the space, which will be the entire space.
Wait, shouldn't we do some type of we're a team?
We have 12 people on this team, and amongst the 12 of us, there's UX skills, digital storytelling skills, graphic design skills, multimedia artists, developers, electrical engineers, a couple $100, faculty interested in our idea, projectors, Arduinos.
We didn't know what we were doing.
One big challenge was to figure out what the theme of this project was going to be, since everyone had different ideas, like completely different ideas, and we could not agree on one. So that was a major problem.
We wanted to create something that would be beautiful, but as a senior project, we needed something to be more than just beautiful. So
we came up with that mission statement that they made us come up with. They felt that since we had a UX background, we needed to have some type of problem statement to design for. So we did. And it was that we wanted people to have a moment to step out of the busyness of, Philly life and into this kind of oasis thing where they could, feel calm and meditative. And that a good problem statement, you have to have a way to measure whether or not you were successful in achieving that goal. So we were like, well, we can measure whether or not people were calm if we somehow embed the use of biosensors into the space. And then I think everyone was just kind of excited about that idea because it seems like an obvious thing to use heart rate sensors in an immersive exhibition, but I have yet to come across an example of it being done before.
when we started this process, we had no experience in the specific area, but above all, we have been trained to be problem solvers. And even though we didn't know what we were doing, we knew that it could be done. Figuring out exactly how we were going to build this thing was an important priority and a problem that looks like a lot of trial and error and frustration to solve. We learned early on that Touch Designer, a tool invented for video jockeying, but now commonly utilized for interactive exhibitions, was going to be important. And even though no one on the team had experience working with node-based graphics or generative graphics, we took on the task of learning this essential tool. We knew we wanted to use heart rate data from the participants to drive the exhibit, and figuring out the best way to get this data was a process with lots of failures. But we eventually decided on using pulse sensors compatible with Arduino, and using the pulse sensor library, we were able to get a consistent data stream from 3 heart rate sensors simultaneously printing into Touch Designer. We now understood how to build the system we needed to figure out how to display it. And we're lucky enough to find a venue with immersive video walls to host our exhibit. However, due to COVID, the event never happened.
Now we'll walk you through the visual exploration of our project. So after we decided on using heart rate sensors, we needed to ground the aesthetic of our project, and we did this by creating a list of emotions that we wanted our audience to feel, which narrowed down to relaxation, freedom, and escape. Based on those words, we created mood boards to get a general feel of an aesthetic, and we found a common theme and color scheme that allowed us to narrow down our ideas. So based on those recurring patterns we found, we decided that an ocean theme would be best for what we wanted to accomplish. We created refined mood boards to discuss potential interactions and visuals for the exhibit. After brainstorming, we came up with 5 different levels of the ocean, which are shallow seas, coral reef, open ocean, caves, and deep sea. These levels are meant to mimic different depths of the ocean, and in the exhibit, participants will be able to raise and lower their heart rates to ascend or descend into the ocean. We created a color palette for each level. These colors were inspired by the mood boards we created, and we also had to make sure that the colors were saturated enough to project well. They also had to be able to blend in nicely with each other, since the colors would be changing fluidly in the exhibit.
To create this immersive exhibit, we followed a complete holistic user-centered design process. I'm going to give you guys a short overview of it. So our UX process started with empathizing with the users. We did this by sending out multiple surveys and conducting a lot of user interviews to define the user and their problems. We followed this by sketching and wireframing our ideas to solve these problems. This was further followed by creating a prototype and testing it with different users and repeating the testing many times to follow an iterative process. This storyboard is a visual representation of the ideal interaction we would expect during the exhibit from our users.
And then COVID. Unfortunately, due to the present circumstances, we weren't able to finish the project since we can't have any live events. However, we filmed most of our process throughout this entire project. So we put together a documentary explaining everything about the project in hopes that maybe once this all blows over, we will have the chance to still put on this exhibit. And we also created a case study walking you through our design process. You can check all of that out on our website, etherealimmersive.art. And yeah, visit our website if you want to learn more about the project. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you to our advisors, Rob Lloyd and Natalie May. Thank you to Emil Polak he helped us with so much on this project. Thank you to everyone at the Excite Center for giving us an office space and connecting us to so many resources. And thank you to Drexel IT for building us a computer and for giving us projectors and pretty much anything we needed to finish this project. So thank you to everyone.
And thank you, Ethereal, for telling your story today and showing us the project. Hopefully one day we do actually get to experience in person. I look forward to that. From Ethereal, we go to a game project. Fancy Sword Studio will put us into the mindset of a hacker hopping from bot to bot. What if there's no health? What if there's nothing to get you back into good top shape? What if you just have to keep going from body to body? That is what Fancy Sword Studio is going to bring us in their game, Endpoint.
Hi, everybody. This is Jonathan Tamir, and our game is called Endpoint, and we are Fancy Sword Studio.
If we could go to the next slide. I don't know if someone has control of that. All right, so let's go through a little rundown of the team, Fancy Sword. Our advisor was the incredibly talented Milady Bridges. We had a fantastic time working with her. She was a great help to our team, huge asset.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Tamir, and I'm the project lead and the environment artist for the game.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike Kodash. I was the character artist and animator.
And I'm Harrison. I was the VFX artist.
Hey, my name is Mike Toon, and I worked as a technical artist on the project.
I'm Joseph Chaga, and I was the sound designer and composer.
And then here we have our team of extremely talented developers. They did a fantastic job working with us and managed to place third in the CCI Awards for game as well, which we owe them a lot of gratitude. They worked incredibly hard on this project, and glad they got some recognition for that.
So let's take a little look at our trailer and see what we're talking about.
All right, so what is Endpoint? Essentially, in Endpoint, you are humanity's final creation and its last hope. Endpoint is a 2.5D action platformer in which you hijack enemy bodies in order to overthrow an alien regime from the inside. With fast-paced combat, a myriad of weapons and abilities, and a wealth of environmental storytelling, endless adventure and intrigue await.
So, Endpoint combines the environmental structure and exploration of a Metroidvania game, a la something like Hollow Knight, with the fast-paced action shooting of a run-and-gun style game, something more like Mega Man or Cuphead. success in Endpoint entails mastery of the hacking mechanic, as well as experimentation and creative usage of your unique abilities and skills.
So let's talk a little bit about the concept design for the game. So we wanted the game decisions to be team decisions. Now, I know what you're thinking, that as a team, you need a leader and that leader needs to make decisions, but that's not how we thought about it. This is our senior project and we all wanted a good idea and we all wanted to be passionate about it. So we decided that every decision will be made as a team and will be decided as a team. The other two rules we decided was be greedy. If you want to make something, speak up and say it. And if you do that, you need to work hard, because if you don't work hard, then you're not going to be able to keep working on things you want to do.
So here we have some of our initial concept art. While we weren't able to get everything into the game, we were able to get as much as we possibly could, and we just wanted to show you some of the things that weren't able to be implemented.
Here you can see the original designs for the 3 robot chassis you can encounter at Endpoint. Every robot has a different feel to it, and we wanted their design to reflect that. So you can see each robot looks completely different from everyone you'll encounter in the game.
And when designing weapons for the game, we wanted to make sure that each individual weapon had a unique style, as well as different gameplay mechanics that would allow you to switch up your play styles depending on which weapon you liked and which style of shooting you liked the best.
And so with Endpoint, we took a lot of inspiration from the early to mid 80s retro-futuristic aesthetic that's present in a lot of the sort of older sci-fi media. And you can sort of see that in our very geometric architecture, our dark flat colors, and sparse lighting.
And then here we have the lightweight robot, the Daitengu class. He has a lower health pool, but he makes up for it with high mobility. He has a mid-air dash ability that allows him to get away from enemies that are on his tail. And then we have the midweight robot, the Koschei class. He's more average robot. He has a little bit higher health pool than the lightweight robot, and he has a combat roll that automatically reloads his gun when he uses it.
And then finally, we have the Titan. While he is slow, he does have a much larger health pool than the other robots, but however, he has a charge which helps him get in and out of combat quickly.
So as we discussed, we have a unique environment where we're in this fire base. It's humanity's last battleground. This is where all the humans that survived went to and basically tried to defend. Sadly, they failed. You're exploring and trying to pick up artifacts and clues about this environment. So you'll go through a secret lab, a docking station, a mission control. All these environments will give you little bits and pieces of how these people lived before you were reactivated. So let's take a look at a little bit of the gameplay features that you're going to be encountering and using throughout the game.
So our primary mechanic is the hacking of enemy robots, which allows you to swap bodies and gain new abilities, new weapons, and new health pool, etc. And so the way that the hacking works is first you shoot a little uplink beacon at an enemy, and once that attaches to them, you'll have to stand inside a radius around them in order to download their data. And once fully downloaded, you'll initiate the transfer phase in which you swap into that enemy body and then gain control of them.
Interactable environments were a part of the game that we really wanted to focus on. So these interactables within our environment include the save and paradigm terminals that you can interact with, as well as lore terminals that will enter into your database so you can go back and check into some of our story as well as the weapons that you've collected.
Let's take a look at 2 of the overlays that you're going to be using throughout the game. The first is the database. So as Joey mentioned, the database is something that we wanted to create because we had so much lore for it. We had like 20-page lore document just because we were so excited about this universe that we were creating. So we wanted to give it in bits and pieces. So every time you go to a terminal, you'll get another lore entry. And with that lore entry, you'll discover bits and little interesting little facts about this world that is in the future. The next thing that you're going to be using is the map. With games like this, it's so large that we didn't want players to be lost. We wanted players to know where they're going and why they're going there. So we gave them a map to easy navigation and easy exploration. The final piece is the skill system, which is a paradigm system that we created. The more you level up and the more you find terminals, you'll be gaining experience. And with the experience, you're going to be unlocking parts of your wheel. And the more wheel parts you unlock, the more customization you have with the play style that you're going to be developing.
And then finally, you have the boss. He's a four-legged alien creature decked out in high-tech technology. He shoots waves of missiles at you and lasers, and he's one tough cookie to crack, so good luck.
We wanted to say thank you for everybody that helped us. Once again, to Milady Bridges, Rob Lloyd, and all the faculty that we talked to throughout the process. We also want to thank our families that have supported us and gotten us to this point. And we want to thank our CCI team one last time. Congratulations on that third place. And also, come to our showcase. We've been updating this game every day, even though we're not supposed to. We just want to make the best product for you. So come on down. We'll talk to you. We'll answer any questions you have. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Fancy Sword Studio. You're still working on it? Come on, cut it out. Give yourself a break. All right, I am looking forward to playing the latest build, though. All right, from hacking into robots to, we're going to keep our Android theme. Team Android is an animation and visual effects team that has done an incredible thing. Most importantly for me personally, I think it's probably wrong that I appreciate this, but one of the faculty gets the snot kicked out of him in this film, and I'm sorry, I take a small amount of pleasure from that, even though, Nick, I love you. But anyway, I digress. Team Android is here to bring you Project Android.
Hello. Project Android begins as a rogue scientist and her android hide away in an abandoned factory. She has one final upgrade to make to her creation as the android struggles to fight off a relentless mercenary. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the show. My name is Mara. I'm the technical director on the project. I also wrote a lot of scripts to speed up the production pipeline and did a ton of animation.
Hello, I'm Anthony Maiola. I did character modeling, animation, lighting, and photogrammetry. I also unified the artistic direction as we reached out to many people to collaborate with.
Hi there, I'm Clara. I did environment modeling and surfacing, as well as some concept art and animation.
Hi, I'm Pete Tozlowski. I was a part of concept art, character modeling, animation, and surfacing.
So at the beginning, we set out to create an energetic fight sequence. To make production efficient, we leveraged techniques in motion capture and photogrammetry. We collaborated with underclassmen and our friends to create content for the show.
A year ago, when we started working on this project, we knew we wanted to feature a big window, an abandoned building, and an android. We built 2 environments and envisioned a colorful lighting scheme that provided a dynamic atmosphere for our characters to fight in.
With help from concept artists, underclassmen Alex and Note, our team iterated on many character designs so we could then implement them into our 3D character models. These individual emblems that you also see were created by Alex as well.
We utilize photogrammetry to develop our characters' faces quickly. Photogrammetry is a process taking many photos around the subject and using software to output realistic 3D geometry. A few of our colleagues were kind enough to volunteer their likenesses for our characters. We then brought the concepts and the photo scans together into our 3D character model turntable.
Next up, we have a video of our character turntables. The android is a little bit shiny, allowing him to truly show within a low light environment. The scientist's white bomber jacket allows for the many lights to bounce back off of her, blending the colors together. The mercenary is a bit more muddy than the android and has seen a lot more time in combat. The scratches and imperfections in his armor reflect that in the light throughout the piece as well.
Sorry about that. This is our scientist's makeshift lab. It's a dusty, abandoned space which was filled with background objects created by our underclassmen modelers. We wanted a space with dramatic lighting, dark corners, and pools of light to focus on the characters and their actions with the capsule, which is the only other source of light in the scene. The mood of the room is represented in here with the blue futuristic light. This is our factory, which, like the lab, is an abandoned, dusty old space. We wanted light to play a large part and strongly influence the mood of the room as well. We have the towers to reflect washes of red and purple on the characters and a large window for a golden hour spotlight to bring your focus into the center of the wide open space of the room where most of the action takes place.
With those large spaces in mind, we utilize Drexel's motion capture studio to coordinate an aggressive and fast-paced fight sequence. We relied on the support of fellow students and friends, often a crew of 10 or more people, to coordinate these mocap shoots.
The high-energy fight sequences featured in our show were performed by our 4 motion capture actors, Joe Miola, Alex Ronan, Jeff Nelson, and Matt Bauman. Fellow juniors and Drexel Mocap Club members Alex Tautskaya, Deirdre Liu, and Shannon Boyle were also all instrumental in creating and processing the mocap data.
Mocapping martial arts and photo scanning our colleagues' heads was fun and successful. With our characters already being animated, we plan to have a 3rd technique as well, facial motion capture and scenes with dialogue. These unfortunately had to be cut, but ultimately we changed our course and worked within the limitations of working remotely.
However, we did get the facial mocap working successfully on our rigged characters. Here we have a demo of facial motion capture applied to the android that we plan to use in the show. Now onto our motion capture video. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at our animation process. Using our top-of-the-line motion capture system, we were able to record our martial artist movements. This is what their performance looks like at the time we capture the data. After that, we add the recorded data to our characters. Finally, we animate and render out our fully lit animation.
Our production is the collective effort of our colleagues and our friends. This would not be possible without their dedication and hard work, but together we made it really fun and rewarding. So thank you to everyone that worked on Project Android, and please come see us at the exhibit.
Thank you very much, Team Android. Incredible project. Thank you for giving me the vicarious feeling of seeing a colleague get beaten up, but he's fine now. He's perfectly fine now. From that odd feeling of watching a colleague get beaten up virtually, I now have the odd feeling of having my son in the next team present as part of Board of the Hawk and their skating battle jousting title. What's it called again? It's Band of the Hawk? Board and Shield. Are you ready? I'm ready for you.
What you saw just now was the trailer for Board of the Hawk's capstone project, Board and Shield. Board and Shield is a competitive, round-based multiplayer action game about radical knights jousting on skateboards. Set in a world that combines a classical medieval setting with a colorful 90s-inspired aesthetic, players utilize clever maneuvering, familiar and intuitive controls, and breakneck speed to strike out their opponents and come out on top. I'm Ted Grant. I'm the team lead level designer and artist, and sound designer.
I'm Calder Lloyd. I'm the dedicated producer and UI artist.
Hi, I'm Kieran Wagner. I'm the art lead as well as the tech artist.
I'm Dan Caldwell. I'm the texture artist as well as an assistant programmer.
I'm Ian Morales, a character designer and animator.
And I'm Tyler Shook, a 3D artist and animator.
Of course, we would not have been able to complete this project without the help of our wonderful programming team from the CCI department. We'd like to thank James DeLorenzo, Julian Cuevas, Cassie Bryce, Vincent Nguyen, Robert Davis, and Hong Sun. Thank you guys all so much for your hard work.
So what exactly is Board and Shield? It's a game where players skateboard around an exciting arena, performing tricks and jousting their foes. Air tricks provide players with boost, indicated with the boost meter. Boost can either be used to gain speed or perform the coffin trick in order to dodge oncoming attacks. The faster the player is, the more deadly they become, being able to catch up to slower players and even win on head-on collisions. It's both a fun run for casual players and a thrill ride for more skillful ones. For us at Board the Hawk, we wanted Board and Shield to feel fast-paced, lighthearted, and viscerally enjoyable. While the primary goal and aspect of the game is competition, we also want players to not take the game too seriously and enjoy themselves while skateboarding through our lively environments. We also want players to experience the skillful challenge of skewering their friends with their lances. Board and Shield thrives under the environment of lighthearted competition, so we designed the gameplay to reflect that.
The art style of the 3D objects in Board and Shield is reminiscent of the graphical limits of the 5th-gen consoles of the late 90s. We made sure to thoroughly study the 3D models of different Nintendo 64 games, including The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64, to make sure we were on the right track with our own art assets in terms of style. These relatively low-poly art assets take advantage of modern game design technology, which gives us a remastered look to them. We added advertisements to flesh out the world of skateboarding nights outside of the arena.
For animations, to keep with the low poly style, we rigged the models to have no bending or warping to give it the blocky feel you'd see in an N64 game. While the models are archaic, we wanted the animations to have a sense of physicality and weight, so we referenced a lot of footage of professional skateboarders and used photos of skate tricks for keyframes. Animation is integral for getting the skating to feel just right, so we made sure to do our best work for Board and Shield. Particle effects help communicate the player's state in the game. The player leaves behind dust trails when they boost, and speed lines will appear when they show the player is accelerating. These visual cues help the player keep track of their status in the game, as well as giving movement a sense of kinetic energy.
For our textures, we made sure to keep everything bright and saturated like many games from the 5th generation consoles, while still making sure the environment felt grounded in the world we created. For example, the castle walls use naturalistic stone colors, but the cloud skybox is bubbly and cartoony. Additionally, the ads were styled after medieval tapestry. For our world building, we worked under the maxim of 90s suburban culture, medieval technology. Finally, for some parts of the level, we painted the shadows directly onto the textures. Also, the water matches the cartoonish style of the skybox. Even though the game's setting is medieval, non-diegetic information such as menus on the game's user's interface was designed to resemble 90s video games such as Super Smash Bros. Or Sonic the Hedgehog. For the title screen, we wanted to represent the fast-paced gameplay by animating the background. For the main menu page, we used the same animated arrows from the title screen and used the angular design to show the game's personality.
By design, Board and Shield, like the games it was inspired by, relies on small, inwardly flowing level design that offers only a few ways to truly end a chase. Our level was shaped to facilitate a constant, heart-pumping battle for survival and glory against your friends. Though our current level serves these needs well, it took a lot of experimentation and testing to get it right. The first version of our level was almost completely symmetrical, being a square arena broken up interior and exterior zones that players could use ramps and hallways to traverse between. While we were satisfied by how the players could move between the upper and lower areas, we also noticed that there was a much greater array of options for players to take while traversing the other parts of the arena. This led to fewer encounters with other players and even less actual conflict, making the players feel lost and disinterested. In order to force the players into more energetic, chaotic, and frequent encounters, we overhauled the level in its entirety. Our rehashed version of the castle courtyard level was designed to be an open, bowl-like arena with large sightlines. We gradually phased out any interior space that would let people hide from their opponents, and better angled our ramped edges to help players look sick while they redirected themselves. The courtyard we have now offers plenty of space to run around in, juke your opponents, and get some airtime. And there are a good handful of fun ads and signs to get a laugh out of observant players.
One of the few persistent pieces of UI in the game is the boost meter, depicted by the skateboard in the lower right corner of each player's screen, which slowly fills and empties as players accrue and deplete their boost resource by performing tricks and engaging their boost respectively. This focus on minimalist design allows our players to really focus in on the core of our game rather than constantly looking away from the imminent threat of other players and being distracted by over-designed UI. In the upper left corner of each screen, there's a display of 0 to 3 chalices used to represent a victory. Once a knight collects 3 chalices, they're crowned victorious and awarded the most coveted trophy of all, bragging rights amongst their friends. That brings us to the end of our presentation. We would like to thank Jichen Zhu, Rob Lloyd, and all our friends and family for supporting us through the development of Board and Shield. We would also like to thank Tony Hawk for putting his phone number on Twitter and never responding to our texts. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we hope you have a good day.
Thank you, Board of the Hawk, and I look forward to playing that later today. All right, from skateboarding and music, we come into Boldly. Boldly brings us the next evolution of brands trying to connect to their customers, from embedded ads in old radio shows and TV to how advertising has evolved over the years. There's an attempt to always connect more closely and intimately with the customer base. And Boldly has a really compelling solution to bring brands and influencers together to reach that customer base. So Boldly brings you Boldly.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are the Boldly team. I am Al Gross, the project manager.
My name is Caroline, and I am the design lead.
I'm Claudia, and I'm the research lead.
And I'm Ryan, the development lead.
We also had the help of our external team, comprised of researchers and developers in the College of Computing and Informatics.
We are so excited to share our senior project with you today, and it has been a long ride. We started this project in September 2018 for our Interactive Digital Media Junior Workshop, and we created a front-end prototype that showcased our user-centered design and won 2 awards. After 6 months, we still saw many opportunities for growth and refinement, so we teamed up with our talented external team and restructured to bring Boldly into our senior project. We are proud to announce that this past Tuesday, Boldly took first place in the corporate category and 3rd place overall in the CCI Senior Design Competition.
Introducing Boldly, a marketing platform that connects like-minded creators and brands.
Contrary to traditional marketing techniques, social media marketing allows brands to target specific audiences and gain their trust through relevance and reliability. In 2018, 87% of US consumers purchased a product because a company advocated for an issue they cared about. As consumers become more conscious in their shopping habits, marketing campaigns are shifting focus. Now more than ever, care is our greatest currency.
After researching the industry, we found a few issues. Existing tools do not prioritize your values and are only focused on their numbers. These existing tools, marketing platforms, lack equality because they're often brand-centric and have inaccessible requirements like large amounts of followers or high budgets. At Boldly, we recognize the passion and opportunities within the micro-influencer market. That is, people that have less than 100,000 followers. Studies shows that leaders within smaller communities are making an impact that has making an impact that reaches much further than their followers. On average, a smaller community has a greater engagement than equates to a more engaged audience.
And that's where we come in.
Meet Lynn. She's the brand manager of Conjure Wellness, a local holistic therapy brand. They've recently released a new product and want to explore the world of social media marketing.
This is Natasha, a meditation specialist with an engaged Instagram audience. She wants to work with brands that are making spirituality more accessible.
Based on their mutual values and interests, Conjure Wellness's campaign pops into Natasha's match feed.
So she decides to apply.
After the application appears on Lynn's campaign manager, she reviews Natasha's profile.
It's a match!
With Boldly's collaborative contract tool, they're able to easily negotiate the terms of their partnership.
And quickly get it signed. It's time to make an impact.
Connect, collaborate, and monetize with Boldly.
Let's grow together.
Our product has a unique user experience tailored to the needs of both brands and content creators in order to promote a collaborative process. Let's take a further look at the functionality of Boldly.
Process that quickly creates a Boldly profile. After securely connecting their Instagram account, users can further customize their in-app experience.
Rather than focusing on high budgets or follower counts, Boldly runs on a personalized matching algorithm based on mutual values and interests. This allows like-minded brands and creators to connect and form more meaningful partnerships.
Our intention is to bring more transparency and communication to social media marketing. One specific pain point we identified was processes surrounding contracts. Through our innovative negotiation tool, users can easily collaborate and sign digital agreements.
Boldly came into fruition through collaborative meetings, copious research, and many iterations of usability testing. Our design process followed an agile workflow. That means our process was iterative and showcased a human-centered design, not only within our app, but also within the structure of our team. By following this process, we have created a platform that is transparent, accessible, and familiar.
In order to create a seamless experience for our users, we put a heavy emphasis on qualitative and quantitative research. This consisted of investigation into the social media marketing industry and existing tools. In the fall term, the 4 of us took a deeper look into usability surrounding legal agreements. Our findings validated our initial goals and introduced us to some pertinent information that helped guide further research throughout the year.
Much like our general workflow, our research followed a cyclical process. Each major feature began with user interviews to give us insights, which helped us identify the problems to address and understand how potential Boldly users behave. Using our new understanding of our audience, we moved on to whiteboarding possible design solutions, and after getting our initial ideas down, we would conduct exercises with users to find out what features they would like to see within the app. For our team, design is a collaborative process filled with whiteboarding exercises, detailed sketches, and post-its galore. Based on these work sessions, we figured out how to incorporate users' input into our product before moving on to the more polished design stages of creating an interactive prototype showing how our app functions.
As we developed the prototype, we conducted usability testing sessions to ensure that the flow of our app was natural. When key themes were identified, we went back to the drawing board and continued testing until all issues were resolved. It was, for example, through conversations with potential users that we found the perfect length, order, and format of our onboarding survey. Once elements were finalized, we documented them in a design system for handoff to the development team.
Throughout the year, the development team was in constant communication with us, hard at work on documenting and developing our designs. After researching and comparing our options for development tools, we decided on using Amazon Web Services to host our servers, PostgreSQL to build our relational database, the Phoenix Elixir framework for our backend code, and we decided on a React Native frontend for flexible multi-platform development on iOS and Android. Here's a simplified view of our system architecture. The user interacts only with the React Native presentation layer, while most of the business logic, matching logic, security, data processing, and data storage is handled on the backend. The team also made use of many tools made for working collaboratively. For organizing tasks and tickets, we used ClickUp. For version control and organizing development, we used GitHub. For shared document storage, we used Google Drive. And for designing the prototype together, we used Sketch and Figma. For team communication, we used a Slack workspace throughout our process.
The opportunity to continue a group project over 2 academic years brought us many lessons. Working across 2 colleges had its challenges. Each team had different processes and vocabulary, so establishing clear communication and efficient management systems that work for the full team was very important.
We always try to stay on top of the curve and make realistic plans, but inevitably we had to deal with hard decisions such as scope cuts and unexpected changes, like a global pandemic. The experience of working on a project for 2 years taught us invaluable lessons about project management, multidisciplinary teamwork, and above all, perseverance.
In the future, we hope to explore additional opportunities that exist within the app. One goal is to integrate more social media platforms into Boldly so that you can connect and run campaigns on platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter.
We would also like the support of a legal team so we can better protect our users and ourselves when dealing with agreements and contracts.
Finally, we would like to say thank you to our 3 advisors, Troy, Jeff, and Rob, for guiding and inspiring us along the way. In addition, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all who participated and helped us throughout this incredible experience. We hope to see you at the Expo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Boldly. Well done, and we'll see you definitely at the Expo. Well, I feel a little self-conscious about my earlier comments about wanting to beat up Nick. So I think I better arm myself with some ghostly brawling capabilities. And so Grumpy Ghost Games is going to teach me how to do that with their title, Boneyard Brawlers.
Hi, we're Grumpy Ghost Games, and like Rob said, our game is Boneyard Brawlers.
Hi, I'm Chris Dobbins, and on this week of Chris's Creepy Corner, we are gonna hunt some cryptids in this haunted forest. I don't know where they will be hiding, but I got my lucky camera and my cameraman Ambrose, and we're gonna be finding some cryptids. Did you hear that? Hello? What are you 2 doing in these woods?
I'm Andrew Banks, the concept or the character artist on the team.
I'm Isa Ben Hashim, 3D environment artist.
Hi, I'm Steve Brennan. I'm the art lead and a 3D modeler.
Hi, I'm James Colley, and I'm the FX artist on the team.
Hi, I'm Chris Dobbins, and I'm a level designer and animator.
Hi, I'm Ambrose. I'm a tech artist and helped with a lot of the animations.
Hi, I'm Sarah Nichterlein. I'm the team lead and producer.
I'm Hannah Sayer, production artist and webmaster.
Hi, I'm Katie Theisen, and I am the UI artist.
I'd also like to give a special thank you to our CCI team and the MIP students that helped us create our game, which we are proud to say won first place overall in the CCI Senior Project Competition. And a thank you to our advisors who have been supporting us throughout our game's development. So, Boneyard Brawlers is a local couch competitive game with third-person, 4-player party gameplay. Players will each take control of a newly risen skeleton and fight their friends for body parts to build the ultimate monster. The monster parts are split into 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Each part adds a unique ability to the game, so players, using a mix and match equip system, can create their favorite combination of parts to combat their friends. Punch, hover, and even pie your way to being the last monster standing and be crowned as king of the graveyard.
Within the brawl, we have 4 distinct monsters based on classic horror that players can use. They consist of a werewolf, a mummy, a killer clown, and a cyborg version of Frankenstein's monster. The monsters are separated between their head, torso, and legs, each with unique abilities for players to mix and match throughout the game.
With all 4 unique monsters, as well as the base skeleton character, there are over 100 possible part combinations to try. To equip a part, simply walk up to one that spawns in a level. When your character touches one, they put on that part and leave behind whatever it was they previously had on. For example, if you have the skeleton torso and you touch a werewolf torso, your player gains that werewolf torso part and leaves behind the skeleton one. Players can experiment with all of the different parts and use ones that fit their play style preference and can customize their monster to focus on what they want to do, whether it's have better mobility or stronger attacks.
So what makes that unique gameplay-wise? It's a brawling fighting game where you're almost guaranteed to never have the same moveset. The skeleton torso can send your enemies a short distance, while the werewolf torso will send your enemies flying across the map. You can jump around like a normal skeleton, but with an attachment like the clown legs, you can jump even higher.
The Graveyard Hub serves as the initial landing point for the players into the world of Boneyard Brawlers. Its dynamic and spooky UI elements make the players feel as though they're directly interacting with the game's environment. As you can see here, the score sign will update in between rounds to show individual players' scores. Players will also be able to identify their characters with the accessible player tags hovering over their skeletons' heads.
Players will start by selecting their initial skeleton character first, those being Hippie, Sporty, Brainy, or Lazy Bones. Then the players will vote on which level to play by jumping into the plots in front of the gravestones labeled with their destinations. There are 6 levels in total, inspired by 2 distinct themes: the spooky woods and a haunted mansion. The grave with the most undead bodies in it gets played.
Our Spooky Woods levels took inspiration from many spooky tropes of classic horror films. One of our main references was Friday the 13th and other Hollywood campy slashers. Like on the docks level, where we have broken boards and some even floating around, as if Jason Voorhees could pop out at any moment. But to keep up with the zaniness, we have plastic floaty ducks, which make it feel a lot more wholesome. All throughout these 3 scenes, we have messages from some disturbed man left like Slender. Our cliff level has tents and sleeping bags as a set of campers just set up for the night, right next to where a gruesome attack just happened. Lastly, on the bridge, we have it locked down due to a car crash and mysterious bones being found in a blood-red river.
So, haunted mansions are a staple in the horror genre, and we really paid a lot of attention to our world building. We made sure that we had spooky stairs that lead to nowhere, and the floating books contain the formulas for creating powerful monsters. And the parlor was one of our first concept levels for the mansion. The floating haunted chairs were one of the first ideas we had to make a spooky, haunted, ghost-infested house. And in horror, a lot of people die, so you have to add a few death traps around the house, such as the fire in the dining room. And the spooky portraits in the dining room are also Easter eggs that contain artwork from a few of the other Drexel projects.
When only one monster is left standing, the brawl is complete. After the players have gone through all the rounds chosen at the start of the game, the ultimate monster is decided. The final screen of the game awards rankings to the players in a separate section of the graveyard. Players are still free to move around, mess with each other, and settle any grudges they have against the winner by attacking with the abilities they've amassed throughout the game. Over on our website, grumpyghosts.com, you can revisit a full list of our team, look at all the artwork we've made, learn how to play, and most importantly, download our game.
On behalf of our team, we'd like to thank you for your time and attention. Hope to see you at the expo.
Thank you, Grumpy Ghost Games, and congratulations on the CCI award for your team. Well deserved, and kudos for everyone. We're now going to move over to another animation film, our last film for the day, and our second to last team for the showcase here is Garden Club Studios, with a beautiful story of trying to break the cycle of violence and abuse with a beautiful tale called Caged.
Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. That was our short Caged. So first we're going to introduce the team. I'm Julia Schultz, I was the project lead.
I'm Sarah Meixner, I was rigging and animation lead.
I'm Anthony Sarka, I was the lighting and compositing lead.
And I'm Mackenzie Kesslin. I was the environment lead.
So first I'm going to talk a little bit about how we came up with our story. So at the beginning of our junior year, we started brainstorming a lot of ideas, and we kind of had a lot of different themes going on, and we had to take a step back and think, like, what kind of message do we really want to put out into the world? So that's how we landed on the theme of anti-animal abuse, and that kind of grew into just general anti-abuse, which we felt is obviously a really important issue to tackle. So along with that, if you noticed while watching the short, we decided that we never wanted to show the ringmaster's face. We did this because we wanted it to be symbolic of the fact that anyone can be abusive. So we never fully reveal what his face looks like. And then also going along with that, we decided pretty early on that we never wanted the child and the tiger to be violent. Although the ringmaster is abusive to them, we never wanted them to react with that same anger. We wanted them to be breaking the cycle of abuse rather than perpetuating it. And finally, on this slide, we have an early mood board that Mackenzie did showing some of our inspirations. We were really inspired by shorts like One Small Step, Feast, and Kitbull, among many others that kind of blend that 2D and 3D style, which is what we were going for. And you can also see an early color key that I did.
Okay, so in terms of character design, we wanted to evoke a certain feeling from the viewer just based on the look of our character. So you can see that with our child and tiger character designs, we stuck with a lot of soft round lines. We wanted you to be able to take a look at them and immediately know that they were sweet, innocent characters. And especially with our child's character design, their outfit has a lot of calm, cool colors like blues and greens. And in terms of the ringmaster, we kind of had the opposite philosophy where we had a lot of harsh angular lines, and we stuck with a color scheme that was a combination of a lot of darks and also bold colors like reds and golds. And we felt that combining this with the fact that we never show his face makes it very obvious to the viewer that he is the bad guy of our film.
So to further the emotions felt while watching our short, we wanted the color tones of each sequence to match the mood of our main character. Towards the beginning of the short, before the child realizes what a terrible situation they're in, we kept the colors feeling neutral. As the child begins to recognize the severity of their situation, the colors grow colder, ultimately reaching their coldest tones when we see the child alone and sad in their cot. Then, as the child and tiger decide to come together to overcome the ringmaster, the colors grow warmer and warmer. Eventually, when the child decides to walk away from the abuser rather than escalate the situation to violence, the colors reach their absolute warmest as the sun rises, signifying new beginnings.
The basic foundation of our style involves the hand-painted textures of our characters and environments, and using compositing techniques to alter each element of our shots. The extent of creating our final look occurred in the post-production process, where we were able to layer lights and shadows over our rendered images. After lights and shadows came color, and because we were able to adjust everything individually in post, our process was instrumental in achieving our color theory and maintaining a cohesive style.
So lastly, we just want to say thank you to our advisors, Nick and Dave, and we want to say thank you to everyone who helped us or gave us advice or supported us in the making of this short, and especially to John Averies for scoring and adding the sound effects to our project. Thank you for everyone watching for tuning into this presentation, and we'll see you in the expo.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Garden Club Studios. Beautiful, beautiful short. You should be extremely proud. Well done. From here, we're going to move to our final game and senior project for the day before we move on to our expo and get some time to spend face-to-face with all the teams and additional teams that weren't part of the senior team presentation. We're going to have that immediately following the closing out of the presentations here of the senior teams. Right now, we have our final game senior team, Sungrazer Studio, and their beautiful, thoughtful, compassionate project, Resilience.
Thanks so much, Rob. We are Sungrazer Studio, and we're so proud to present Resilience. Please enjoy our trailer. Hello, my name is Lily, and this is Resilience. Next, please. Resilience is a sci-fi city builder for Mac, Windows, and PC designed to foster empathy for displaced people. In Resilience, you step into the shoes of a refugee camp manager on a distant moon. Your job is full of challenges, like limited funds, deteriorating infrastructure, unreliable aid, imperfect information, storms, fire, and sickness, all vie for your attention. My role on the project as producer was to coordinate all aspects of the game to make sure that they reinforced our core message, that refugees need our help. On to Sophia.
Hello, I'm Sophia, and I work as a lighting and technical artist on the team. Next, please. On this moon, you will find various... Oh, that side. On this moon, you will find various foliage and rock formations, which were created by me and other artists on the team to maintain a familiar but alien feel. Next. We crafted our very own planet biome through our use of sky, lighting, and environment. Next slide. And then one more, please. Your journey begins when you walk through the admin center. You receive a tablet and instructions to begin to place buildings. Now on to our building development with Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben Greaves. I'm a 3D artist and video editor that worked on the various buildings players can construct to serve the essential needs of our game's refugees. From housing, food, water, and medicine, these facilities were designed to be visually distinct while still communicating their functions easily to the player. Next slide, please. From a design perspective, we went for a more retro 70s technology aesthetic, known as cassette futurism. Real refugee camps often have to use older, cheaper technology. We wanted to capture that while still feeling futuristic and modular. Now, Jeho will tell you more about our buildings and UI. Next slide, please.
Hello, I am Jeho. I worked on 3D modeling and user interfaces. Here's the tablet screen. You can use this tablet to place those buildings explained earlier. The building's conditions go down as the time passes, so you should repair them periodically by using your tablet. You can also use tablet to upgrade the buildings, making them more efficient. Now we will dig on more about this tablet's UI.
I'm Tyler, and I worked as a UI and concept artist for the team.
Outside of construction, the tablet can be used to learn more about your camp. We provided the player with a streamlined statistics screen so they can diagnose problems quickly and return the people into the camp, as opposed to combing through numbers. Next slide, please. Along with this, the player is given a journal that fills out as they progress. This is the player's window into the real-life crises of displaced peoples, where they can learn about facts and other statistics about the refugees of our world. Next slide, please. Lastly, the tablet acts as a link between the player and the aid organizations of our universe. The player is able to receive donations from these benefactors and even take on small missions that allow them to provide more for the camp and the people in it upon completion. Now, more onto the camp itself.
Hi, I'm Andrew Fairfull. I'm one of the 3D and surfacing artists on the team. I modeled some of the props you can see in the camp, such as storage crates and clothing lines, and created various textures for props and the terrain. Next slide, please. When refugees are admitted and populate Camp Kiora, new belongings will begin to appear throughout the camp. Next slide, please. As you place buildings and resources with your tablet, refugees will come to Obios on carrier ships. Next slide, please. I worked on the original concepts for the ships with collaboration from Alex to further improve them, and their hasty landing and takeoff show that refugees are in need of a safe haven. Now on to our alien refugees.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the technical director. I worked in a variety of areas in this project, and I specialized in optimization and visual polish. In particular, I focused on the inhabitants of our camp. The refugees in our game are part of an alien people called Mirians. They fled from a black hole that destroyed their planet. We didn't want to perpetuate misconceptions or stereotypes about what a refugee looks like, and so we decided that our refugees would be part of an alien race. However, we didn't want them to feel too alien, or else players may not have been able to empathize with them. So we focused on two main goals. We wanted our characters to feel both non-human and friendly. To make you feel like every person in the camp was an individual, we needed every one of them to look unique, with different clothes, colors, and body types. You'll find both children and adults in the camp, as children make up around half of all refugees worldwide. Now, let's see them in motion.
My name is Fiona Lynch, and I'm the team's animator. Our characters' long bodies, extra thumbs, and cat-like legs gave me the opportunity to create interesting movements that worked with their alien anatomy. In addition to animation, the inhabitants of our camp also needed clothing. Their fashions are made to look simple and comfortable, while still saying something about their culture. All the fashion designs and resilience were created by our art lead, Zach.
Thanks, Fiona. I'm Zach, the art lead and creative director of our project. I had the true pleasure of working with this talented and tenacious team of artists and designers on the visual development of Resilience. Outside of management, my main focus was on world building, including early concept art, fashion design, and writing for the game. Refugees can come from all walks of life, and as such, we wanted to reflect that in both their personalities and dialogue. In fact, we have over 600 lines in-game. Refugees may also tell short stories that provide further context about the world and lives they left behind. For the past year, we've iterated, researched, designed, and executed to make Resilience both an engaging and educational experience. We want our game to motivate players to make a difference in the lives of refugees, and today we are so excited to show you how far we've come. Of course, we would not have made it this far without the tremendous efforts of our CCI and music industry partners, who were equally committed to bringing Resilience to fruition every step of the way. And we want to give a huge shout out to our CCI team, who placed second in the game category of the CCI Showcase competition. You guys are awesome. We'd also like to thank Rob Lloyd, our advisors, and all of our other collaborators who helped us refine the experience as well as responsibly depict the serious themes of our game. And of course, to all of our friends, family, and guests, thank you all so much for all of your support. We hope to see you at the Expo to show even more features that Resilience has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Sungrazer Studio. Incredible project. Thank you so much for sharing it with us, for staying with such a complex construction and design all the way through the process. Well done. Congratulations. I now need you to all leave. Go away. Not you on the stream. Don't you on the stream, you stay right where you are. We've got something special coming right up, but I want to get all my seniors in the YouTube stream as well. I want to get them all there. This right now, at the end of the show, after the last team has presented, this is when the entire theater would stand and applaud for minutes, and we don't have that. We have you cheering in the chat for the YouTube stream, and I hope that's what you're doing right now. All these students have so much to be proud about, and I'm overwhelmed with what they've accomplished. And in trying to think about how we could celebrate them, lacking the physical nature of an audience in a theater in this moment, we realized that with this being our 20th graduating class, the program has been around for over 20 years, and these are our 20th graduating class students, that who better to turn to than the faculty who started this, but also, most importantly, the alumni that have come before them. And so we've put together a little video, and I can't talk about it anymore because I'll cry again on stream. So Nick, the magic man in the background, would you be so kind as to play the video for us?
Congratulations, class of 2020. My name is Glenn Muschio. I was hired by Drexel University in 1998 to start the digital media program. This year's show is awesome. You guys have some impressive skills. Keep them sharp, keep them growing. Enjoy.
This is Amy Cologne, class of 2002.
Dave Maeda, class of 2002.
Will Mito here, class of 2008.
Hey guys, Milady here.
Hi, I'm Dan Billenstein, Drexel Digital Media class of 2010.
Hi, this is Evan Boucher, BSMS 2010.
This is Mike and Christine Dixon, class of 2011.
Hi, this is Professor Rose.
Hey, it's Bob Piscopo, class of 2011.
Hi, I'm Nate Shaw, Drexel Digital Media grad class of 2011.
Hi, this is Gina Sundaram Millette, class of 2012.
My name is Rob Lloyd, Program Director for Game Design and Production.
Hey, this is Melissa Sal from the class of 2012.
Hey, Jake Nichols, class of 2012.
Hey, this is Brendan King from the Digital Media class of 2013.
Hey everybody, it's Glenn Winters here, graduate class of 2013.
Hi, I'm Desiree Lim from the class of 2015.
Hi, I'm Evan Fried.
I'm Professor Tony Rowe.
Hi, this is Chris from class of 2016.
Hi, my name is Robert Fernandez, and I graduated from the Game Art and Production program in 2017.
This is Paul DeFamas sneaking off to the bathroom to get away from my kids so I can say congratulations to all you seniors.
Hi everybody, and congratulations for completing your senior projects, for completing your senior year, and for all that you have achieved in these past several years here at Drexel University.
Hey seniors, I hope you're as proud of yourselves as I am of you.
Special congrats to the digital media program on 20 years.
Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Congratulations.
Big congrats to the class of 2020.
Congratulations.
You guys did it. You finished your project and you are graduating.
Congrats everyone. Good luck.
A big congratulations and all the best on the next part of your journey.
Congratulations to the seniors of the class of 2020.
Congratulations everyone.
Congratulations to the class of 2020.
I wanted to send my congratulations to all the seniors for finishing up their senior projects during such a hard time.
Congrats on all the hard work you put into your senior projects, and on becoming the newest Dragon alumni.
You guys have come a long way since freshman year, and I can't wait to see what you guys have put together.
And I look forward to seeing what you all create in the years ahead.
Wishing the graduating class all the best.
I wish you guys nothing but the best in your future.
Can't wait to see what you do next.
Hey, nice work everybody. Now go get some sleep.
Good luck out there.
Congratulations to all of you on graduating in this fantastic year of 2020.
You've done incredible work, and it's amazing what you've accomplished this year under extraordinary circumstances.
I want to let you know how proud and inspired you all have made me with your work over these last several years.
Certainly, in at least the last 100 years, there has never been a senior class as dedicated, as hardworking, and as persevering as you have been.
And the work that you all have been able to do has been very impressive.
Please keep in touch. I'd love to hear from you, even if it's just a few months from now or even years from now. And who knows, in the future we may even cross paths on a job. Wouldn't that be awesome?
My name is Michael Wagner. I'm the department head of the Digital Media Department. I usually teach in the Digital Media Graduate Program, but quite often also in the undergraduate Game Design and Production program. Every year I'm impressed by the quality of projects our students are able to produce, and this year is no exception. And that is particularly impressive considering the extraordinary circumstances our students had to go through this year. You guys absolutely rock. So congratulations to your achievements, and having said that, on with the show.
Thank you, all the amazing alumni and faculty for making that happen. I'm glad somebody else, Taylor Reeves, did the edit on that video. I wouldn't have been able to get through that edit without a lot of crying. So I'm very emotional these days, but this has been an exciting and a difficult, challenging time. But I'm incredibly proud. I'm excited to move on to the expo. And we're going to take a moment to switch streams. Nick Jashishin, program director for VR and immersive media.
Congratulations,
and
class
the
of
wizard
2020.
Behind this whole
My name is
broadcast
Glenn
so far.
Michel. I was hired by Drexel University in 1998
and
to start the
my
digital
stream
media
from
program.
my broadcast bunker.
This year's show is
and,
awesome.
It'll be just
you
a
guys
few
have some
moments while we
impressive
get
skills.
all the
Keep them
rooms
sharp.
open
Keep them
and
growing.
ready to go.
Enjoy.
And so please
This is Amy
stay on
Cologne,
this
class
stream.
of
Keep an eye on the stream.
2002.
It'll only be a few minutes till we're ready to go. And then the links on the event page, bit.ly 20dickum20, they'll put that in the chat, I'm sure. Abigail and Jared and Taylor, get that in the chat. The link to the event page, that's going to have all the live links for the individual expo rooms. I'm going to take you through on a guided tour, but I'm only going to be able to spend a couple of minutes in each of the exhibitors' rooms. What I'm excited for you is to have the opportunity for you to go into and spend some time directly with the teams that you are most interested in learning more about their process, their project, and what they do. We also have some incredible undergraduate projects. We have one of the seniors, Hunter Wu not only did his own project with KO Studio and the knockoff game, but his game Fallen Angel is incredible, and it's on Steam right now to be wishlisted. There's all sorts of incredible projects. We have stuff that was done for the challenge.gov Department of Health and Human Services. We've got stuff that was done on Motion-Base. We've got examples from our student clubs. And so we've got lots and lots of things that we want you to check out. I'll be doing a guided tour, only a few minutes in each room, but it'll be on this stream, so stay here. But if you want to go dive into the rooms themselves, that's what the event page will be, which I'm sure is being posted in the chat right now. That's where you're going to be able to go to and in just a few minutes be able to see all the live links. So if the links aren't there yet, please keep refreshing that page and they'll be there in just a moment. But thank you so much for being here. This has been a heck of a journey to get to this stage, and we're all incredibly proud of our students and of ourselves for pulling this off. And for you, so proud of you to make the time in this chaotic world we're deeply in right now. But I'm so thankful that you made the time out of everything that's going on right now, specifically in this weekend even, that celebrating these students demands our time. They deserved it. And thank you so much for being here. And please stay on this stream and keep an eye on the event page for the expo links that'll be going live momentarily.
It's like we're joined by our friend Rob. So.
Oh. Hey, Rob. I don't
Hey, Rob.
hear you, but hey, Rob.
Hey, give me a moment while I make sure we're live the way we want to.
For sure.
And all right. Let me remind myself of the buttons I set up as hotkeys.
Joined by our friend Rob. So.
Oh. Live the way we want to. And sure. Now we're hopefully really live the way we want to. Whoops, hang on. Too many things going on simultaneously. All right, I lost my link. I'll do that later. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you see our screen? We have our presentation set up.
Yeah, I'm going to swap over. Let's take a look at what you got to show me here. All right. Boom. All right.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Malcolm Bornman. I'm the current vice president of Drexel TPED. Do you want to introduce yourself, Peter?
Hey, guys. I'm Peter. I'm the current president of Drexel TPED.
Cool. Yeah. So TPED stands for the Theme Park Engineering and Design Group. We are a theme park club that studies theme parks and all aspects of themed entertainment. And so in terms of what our club does, we generate interest and expand knowledge of the field of themed entertainment amongst the Drexel University population. We facilitate hands-on learning, leadership, and interdisciplinary collaboration through industry-related projects. We provide professional networking opportunities by attending international local events, whether that's competitions or conferences. And then we also promote Drexel University in the Philadelphia area, as well as the themed entertainment industry. And so what all of this means is that we do a lot of things on campus and beyond. And so, Peter?
Yeah, so one of the, our first biggest thing that we usually do is we have general body meetings each week. Right now, they're going on virtually. They've been doing that for this term because of everything going on. Then we also go to competitions and conferences. So usually every year in the fall, we select a team of 6 to go to Ryerson at competition at Universal. We've also had teams participate in Walt Disney Imaginations. And as well as that, we attend conferences like ASTM F24, which is a safety conference on theme park ride standards, as well as IAPA, which is just a theme park ride interest group. And then as well as that, we have events. So we do a yearly trip to either Hershey Park or Six Flags in the spring. In addition to that, we also we do projects. So this past year, we actually worked on we worked on a VR bike. I don't know, some of you might know about it, but we got to exhibit that at SIGGRAPH in 2019, this past summer. And that was a really cool experience, but those are just some of the things we do.
Yeah, and so kind of expanding on these pictures, these are some of our general body meetings. So we do design prompts where we conceptualize different attractions, do more storyboarding type stuff. We have presentations where we learn about either the history of roller coasters to fireworks, all different aspects of themed entertainment. And so it's inclusive of design, engineering, marketing, all different disciplines. And sometimes we play Jeopardy, fun games like that, play with Connects.
Yeah, and then so these are some pictures we've gotten from some of the events we've had. We usually like to go mini golfing in the summer. We also do the one on the bottom middle. That's from one of this past year's trip to Six Flags last spring. And then the bottom left is actually, we got a behind the scenes tour of Coney Island. That was this winter, actually. We actually got to go in under a roller coaster and stuff. So cool stuff. And then the top right is a group of us who went to an escape room in Philly. And then the bottom right is we actually got a tour of Walt Disney Imagineering in Glendale, California. So cool stuff.
Yeah, and we see our buddy Rob Lloyd right there. Yeah, and so then in terms of the cool projects that we do, We have an animatronic dragon. We have a really awesome motion base on campus, which is the bottom left. And it actually, if you go to, I believe it's next, Calduction has a game developed for that. The middle pictures are virtual reality bike. That was a team of 20 students from 7 different programs, including product design, game design, animation, VR, engineering, mechanical, electrical. And we developed our own motion base, our own simulator ride that was exhibited at SIGGRAPH. Very well received. And then, yeah, we have some competitions. And so, we interface with Universal, with Disney. We win a lot of trophies and awards. We have a trophy case actually within the Westfall building if you want to check that out. And then these are some of the groups, the different companies that our club has interfaced with, that we have alumni working at currently, as well as that we visited in the past. And so, and there are plenty more than this. So if you're interested in learning more about our club, we have all the different social medias. We do have a Discord. If you want to join that, please do email us or contact us on that way so we can get you that link. And if we have time, we can show you a video of the VR bike. If not, we can say goodbye. But
I'd actually love to. Let's see a portion of that clip, and then we got to move on. I've got to keep this tour going. But if you see more that you want to see more about people in the stream, please make sure you visit the event page and check out more about TPED with these two fellows. Let's take a quick look at the VR bike in action. This is an incredible project.
Yeah, so Peter and I worked on this video, or worked on this project. We premiered it at SIGGRAPH, and here's some footage we took.
It's an incredible project involving multiple majors from across the university, mechanical, electrical engineering. That's the beauty of what TPED does and why I'm proud to advise it. It's an incredible group of students. Not only, right here we have a mix. Malcolm is game and Peter is engineering. And it takes that integrated cross-disciplinary capabilities to create a project like this from scratch, not only making the games and the experience on it, but also the hardware itself. So you guys are doing great work. I hope people stop by and learn more about the VR bike and the many generations. This is version 2.0, 2.5 you guys were working on before we had to shut down the campus, but we look forward to coming back to it with the next generation of students. So thanks for taking the time to meet with me, and please, folks, if you want to know more about TPED and the incredible projects they are doing, stop back into this room using the event page link for the theme park engineering and design group and talk with Malcolm and Peter. And I did represent, so
thank you very much for that, Rob.
I'm wearing the swag. So all right, thank you, gentlemen. I am going to move on my merry way, but thanks for spending some time with me, and good luck with the rest of the expo. Have fun with it. All right? Take care. Bye. All right, here we are with Area 52%, an incredible, complex team of juniors and seniors from the game design and production program and computer science program, and a few other things I think mixed in. And there's Annie with my motion base in the background. So I'm really excited about this project. You guys you were finalists in the National Intel contest that should have happened at GDC, but happened online instead. We're really very proud of you for representing Drexel at that contest. What can you tell us about your project?
Yeah, so our project is all about the motion simulator. And for those who don't know, it's the Voyager. It's Drexel's very own 10-ton motion simulator that moves in 3 axes of rotation. So it goes forward, backwards, and tilts, and it goes up and down. It's really crazy. And we were basically tasked with making a game for this machine. And that was our design constraint, figure it out. We were like, okay, what's a cool motion that goes up and down? And we first had an idea of a claw machine. And then we were like, okay, that's boring. What's more fun? Aliens abducting cows. So that's what we did. It's called cowduction because you're abducting cows. And it's all, don't laugh, Rob.
It's funny. I can't help. It's funny. It's cows and aliens and spaceships. I'm legally obliged to laugh.
Thank you. And so this game was part of a workshop project. What that means is that you have one term to make your game prototype. If you win between one section, 2 teams, if you win, then you go on to a second term of production. The first term, we really wanted to have multiplayer in the game, on different devices, and we didn't quite get to it. But for our second term, we managed to get it. So in addition to playing in a giant machine that tosses you around as aliens trying to abduct cows, while you're in line waiting to ride the Voyager, you get to play on your phone as farmers trying to protect the cows.
Can we see some of this action? Yeah, let me switch screens here and get your trailer up on screen.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready for you. Play it.
Okay.
We're looking at your website, area52p.com.
Yeah, feel free to check it out. It's really cool. You can actually play our game. This is our team. Lots of cool people. And this is our video, our trailer. It's currently muted. Can you guys still see it?
I can see it.
Okay. It's currently muted. I figured we could talk over it.
Yeah.
We have 2 artists, including me, and 2 programmers. So really, we can answer any questions you have.
Tom, what was this like for you? What was this like for you working on this weird project with a motion piece of hardware?
For me, it was especially interesting because I actually was part of the other team for the first portion of the class. But it was really exciting joining for the second term to work on this. It's really interesting having to completely design a game from a totally different perspective, from going from a 2D flat screen to having to think about making the most interesting motion profiles for our players. It's been totally amazing.
It's a very unusual design challenge that you guys had to respond to, right? There's these time constraints. You can't kill, the player. They have to have that timed experience. And so how do you chastise the player without being able to just simply kick them out and saying, you're dead, you have to respawn? Vincent, I hear, I've only got another a minute before I got to move on, but I love that you guys are what you guys have had a chance to show me. Vincent, I understand you saved the day more than once with your programming skills on this project.
Yeah, so I was technical director, and we had challenges like how to get the multiplayer working, and for that we used a solution called mirror networking, which is a package for Unity, and along with that we had to get it working so that the farmer is controlled on a phone, and we used Xcode to build for iOS, and that way we could connect the phone to the computer. And our rough prototype just involved inputting the IP address to connect the devices together, but that ultimately got us into the Intel at GDC competition.
It's an amazing project. You guys did an incredible job, not only dealing with networking, but multi-platform, completely different games, basically on 2 different platforms. So I just want to say hi to you before I have to move on. But and thank you so much for the work on this project, and I'm glad you're here to show it off today. Folks, if you want to know more about working on the motion base, how Drexel Digital Media workshop classes go, what it's like to be on one team and not be able to continue on that project, have to merge into another team the next term. Area 52% is a great team. They went through some challenges like all teams do, and they dealt with it, and that is what project management is about, and I'm incredibly proud of what they accomplished. So thank you so much for sharing some time with me today, and I hope that other people get curious about your project and come on in and check out your expo room. You can use the event page online to get the direct link to Area 52's exhibit room, as well as all the other exhibit rooms. I got to move on, but thanks so much for sharing time with me today, and I will see you soon. Take care.
Bye, Rob. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye, Rob.
See ya.
Thank you.
Oh. All right, we're live.
I seem to be having some parsec trouble, so I don't think I'll be able to play.
Oh no,
Oh, what's
Ted,
your
we can't
parsec
play.
It's timing out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
So-
I was getting the echo.
Oh yeah.
All right, well,
So everyone is talking twice.
well, you can't listen to the live stream and talk in Zoom simultaneously. These are the challenges of dealing with audio on a multi-channel live stream. So,
No, it's not that. It's that Zoom is echoing.
oh dear. All right, so if there's stream issues, bye, Ian. Don't
If
go.
you're not going to be talking, just mute your mic, and that should help. Sometimes that's the echo right there.
Oh yeah.
So, there you go. All right, so we got to see some cool stuff about the project in the formal presentation during the showcase. But now I'm curious, are you actually ready to show some live gameplay? That would be awesome.
I think I'm supposed to still be there. We are. Almost.
So-
short list. Who do we?
All
who
right.
else do we have coming into Parsec?
All right. You guys ready to show some play? That'll be very cool.
Yes. All right.
All right.
So far, I only have Dan in here. For the rest of the team, if you want to join, go ahead and click that, and then mute Parsec. That way, you won't get the echo.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
trying to hop in at the moment.
Accepting.
All right. So has Parsec been working for you guys otherwise for doing couch over the net?
Yeah, it's worked before.
Yeah, it's been great.
All right. That's excellent. All right, so you ready to play? Let's see if we can get some stuff on screen here.
All right.
All right,
I
your
have
game's on
Dan.
screen.
You guys ready?
We have one
my
night.
controller doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Oh no. We have 2 nights.
Pink on the right.
You got the bare minimum of nights.
That's true. Well, actually, we can have
What?
one night. Anybody else playing?
It might
Let's
just be you and I for a little bit, Dan. Let's just do that for now because we only have 5 minutes.
Okay.
only 2 minutes now. So let's dive in. Let's see some jousting knights. All right.
So I'm on the lower screen. I'm also trying to dodge around my microphone as we go. But I'm gonna. Oh. And yeah. Trying to make sure that I get him. If you look closely, there's a little narrow miss.
Ooh, yeah.
There's a little arrow on my screen that points to where Dan's knight is. Oh no. Okay, it'll correct in a second. This is a bug in the most recent build, unfortunately.
A known bug can be a dead bug. All right.
So we do have camera controls and everything, and the character. The character indicator is working. Oh no! And I go through the map, but don't worry, we have a plane to fix that shortly.
There we go.
It's
All right, you're
also
back in the
known
go.
Speed bug. We upped our speed the last minute because it just didn't feel that great, and then that messed with some of our physics.
Yeah.
Oh! We have a victory. So,
for those at home who are trying to keep track, the score is up on the top left corner.
So whose crazy idea was this in the first place?
I think it was Kieran's, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we got it from a random generator.
So, if my memory is correct, Kieran had a prototype for skateboarding game, and we all wanted to kind of work on that because the original Board and Shield was for a different class. It was a 2D version of this. So I think we all just kind of talked about things we wanted to work on, and Board and Shield kind of just was a result of that.
Yeah.
And then Ted was the one who really wanted to do it in 3D, and that's why he's the project director.
Yeah.
Tried to take advantage of that.
All right. Well, I'm so glad I got to see some live gameplay today. That's super cool. I'm glad Parsec is working out for you. We need a little sponsorship from Parsec, I think, in this whole crisis. So well done, gentlemen. And thank you for sharing it with me today. I need to move on to the next room, but I hope that other people in the stream, if you're interested in knowing more, are you letting people in the Zoom room try to join through Parsec if they can, or is it just you guys playing for the audience?
If they would like to try, we're more than.
Oh! I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going to move on.
Oh my God!
But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to play this game live in this expo with Board of the Hawk, then I thoroughly encourage you to check out the links on the event page and check out Board of the Hawk's Board and Shield. See, you messed me up with the name change, and it never stuck with me until recently. Band of the Hawk was just deep, because then it's Board of the Hawk and Board and Shield, and I get
It's not as catchy as Band of the Hawk.
I'm an old, slow man, slow to pick up on these things, but I deeply apologize for getting your name wrong for the last month or 3. All right, congratulations. I'm moving on, and have fun with the rest of the expo, and keep playing. And folks, get into this room and see if you can check out Parsec and try to play with them and see if you can beat their high score, or at least beat them down as a jousting knight. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. All right, and here we are with Hunter Wu and his game, Fallen Angel. Matryoshka?
Why, hello there, sir. Welcome to the Kingdom Come Hotel.
Let's switch over to his game visuals. So, Hunter, what can you tell us about this? We bring the game audio down a little bit, and maybe we can talk over this, because I'm curious, where did the idea for this came from? You have been working on this for a while. It's incredible. It's beautiful. You've done some insane work on it. You've gotten backing. You've hired people to do this. Where did this all start? So, Hunter, can you tell us about where the idea for the game came from? Uh-oh. I don't think Hunter can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Hunter.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Sorry. Yeah, don't watch the stream. Let's be in the space here. So I've got your game visuals up, and you're playing through. I'm curious, where did the idea for this game come from? How did it all start? I've seen where it is, but how did you start?
Right. I started this project when I was a freshman, and I played a game called Hyper Light Drifter, and I really wanted to make a game like that. So I basically made some sprites and started working on this project. It was actually originally gonna be about going into hell and defeating the 7 deadly sins, but I thought that was overdone, so I switched it to going to heaven and fighting the archangels.
Fewer angels to fight than the demons. So you started as a freshman on this. What was the first thing that you built when you were putting this together, when you were proving it out?
So I actually started the project in Unity with a random programmer I met online, and it was like, you know, you could walk around and fight people and fight some enemies. There wasn't a lot in the game, but all the combat and gameplay was there. Unfortunately, that programmer left my team, and then I couldn't use Unity, and it was just too difficult. So I moved to Game Maker Studio 2, which gave me basically full control over what I was doing, and it kind of was just so much easier to learn and use for me, and it basically made like a 10% of the game prototype by myself. And from then on, things just, I guess, slowly happened over time.
So that's pretty incredible. I mean, and Greg, you're sort of in the legacy of Greg Lebanoff, and who just had Wandersong and Chicory just came out, but he does all his stuff in Game Maker, and that's where he's comfortable to create. It doesn't get in the way for him. But now you've also did KO Games as a senior project in Unreal, where that started in Unity. So, you know, 3 major engines involved here. Are you happiest in Game Maker?
Yeah, let's see. So at this point, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question.
Well, I just, you know, what is it, you know, you don't have to have a favorite engine, but I mean, this is where you went to when you wanted to build this game.
I would love to, I actually feel like, I mean, in Game Maker, I have the most control over everything, but I really wish I was like a god at Unreal, because the amount of things you can do in Unreal is just so high, and I just see the projects that people make in Unreal, and it's super inspiring. Game Maker is super good for 2D projects like my game, so if you're making a 2D game, I would definitely say Game Maker is the way to go.
Well, you're off to a great start with what you did in the with Knockoff in Unreal, and you did some incredible effects in there, and so I know you're going to go further with that. I need to move on to the next room and keep the stream moving. But I hope that people, if you want to come in and check out more of Fallen Angel and what Hunter's accomplished here, it's an incredible game. It's available for wishlist on Steam, right? Or is it?
It is, yeah. We got a Steam page up and going.
Yeah, so make sure you share that with people that came through, and we'll get people to put that up in the YouTube chat as well, so that people can know more about this project. It's incredible. You should be very, very proud of it. You've got a great team behind you now, and